Welcome to another edition of Travs Talk. I'm Stephen Davis. I'm your host. We are joined by an extremely special guest this week. Bernard Gilkey is with us. Known to most people for his 12-year Major League career, but known in Little Rock for his starring role on the Texas League champion 1989 Travelers. Bernard, thanks for the time. How are you doing?
Stephen, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well also. Thanks for taking some time for us. Let's get started. Are you ready to roll with 9 innings here on Travs Talk?
I have 9 innings to go. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. First inning for you. What are you doing these days? Before we dive back into your playing career, let's get the folks updated on what you're doing right now in life.
Right now, I'm trying to shoot par golf. It hasn't worked out well yet. I'm still working on it. And actually, I am a part of the Cardinals organization. And, you know, I am a coach with the rookie league down there in Port St. Lucie. Not Port St. Lucie. I mean Jupiter. That Port St. Lucie is the Mets. I'm sorry. No, in Jupiter. Yeah. So I was planning to be an outfield coach with the St. Louis Cardinals down there, and before COVID came up and we had to come back.
Yeah, but before the world got tipped on its ear. Well, it's good to know you're still in baseball. Let's move on to the second inning. Let's dive back into your memory when you were a young fella. The 1989 Arkansas Travelers. You were there the whole season, championship at the end. How special was that group?
It was so special. I guarantee you it was so special. I didn't even believe that I was going to be a part of that team. Ted Simmons and we had a little clash, and I said, Ted, I need to go to Double-A. I need to be a part of that Double-A team. And he was like, yeah, you gotta show me. You know how Ted is. Ted was a little, rough. So he told me, he said, okay, if you show me, you prove to me that you could be there in Double-A, because all my friends were Ray Langford and Geronimo Pena and Rob Brewer and all these guys. They were there. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of it. So he told me, he said, if you show and prove that you could be there, then I'll give you a chance. And he did.
Awesome. And that year ends in a championship for you. What memories stick out from that season? You mentioned your buddies. You guys were all together coming up through the system. Is that the biggest memory for you, just getting to play with those guys and win a title?
I do believe so. And it was Ted Simmons. He gave me an opportunity to have, to proceed to go to the big leagues. And he was there each and every step along the way. And it was just so fun because he pushed us. He asked us to play hard, and we did. And we had so many great players. We had 17 guys in the Texas League to make it to the big leagues that year.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. All right, third inning question for you. You had a great individual year in 1989. You did prove that you belonged in Double-A. You led the Texas League in runs scored and stolen bases. Was that kind of the year for you in your career when you got convinced, hey, I can be a big league player and really have a good career in this?
I do believe so. I think that was the telltale moment of my career where, once you reach the Double-A level and you see so many guys, Sammy Sosa, we had Palmer. We had so many guys that were big league bound. And if I felt that I could play in that level, it was great, man. It was such a competitive year that year.
Awesome. All right, fourth inning question for you. I figured out you could be a big league ball player, but why did you choose to go pro baseball in the first place? Because you were a pretty darn good basketball player, it sounds like, coming out of high school too.
I know. See, the thing there, I stopped growing. I stopped growing. I could shoot it, but and Magic Johnson came in that year, and he was a 6'9" point guard.
Yeah.
So he changed the game for every guard coming into the game. Either you had to really, really be quick, get to the basket, and I was like a shooter. I'm like, oh, let's play baseball.
Did you ever have any second thoughts, second guess yourself? Maybe I should be on the court hooping right now?
No doubt I did. I did. I struggled in Springfield, and I called home and I told my mother, I said, I don't think this is the right choice I made, and she was like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm not doing so well. She's like, you're going to do better. You're going to do better. So she pushed me and she encouraged me to continue to play baseball, which turned out well for me.
Absolutely. Leave it to mom to be the inspiration.
Always.
All right. Fifth inning question for you. I want to play a little word association. I'm going to say something related to the Travs and Little Rock, and I want to know the first thing that pops into your mind. All right?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Saturday doubleheaders.
Nickel beer.
There you go. That'll work. Fans would remind you of that, wouldn't they, over there by left field?
Nickel beer, yeah.
Every time I ask somebody Saturday doubleheader, what's the first thing you think of? They either mention that or the fact that they were getting Sunday off.
Sunday off. It was so outstanding, man.
You didn't mind playing doubleheaders, though. Was it a blast playing in front of the fans in Little Rock there, especially where you were over by the third base left field line?
I loved it. I mean, they came out in droves. We knew we had a big crowd. We knew we had a big support base, and everybody was rooting for the Travs. I guarantee you, the Travs fans were the best. I loved it, and if I could take time back again, I go right back to Little Rock and play right in left field right now. I mean, they were great, man. They treated me really well, and we did well for them.
That's awesome. All right, sixth inning. You say you'd go back to Little Rock. We don't have it anymore. It's torn down, but Ray Winder Field was a special place for a lot of people. What did you like about Ray Winder Field? What did you not like about Ray Winder Field?
Well, what I did like about Ray Winder Field was right field was a lot shorter than left field, So I had a whole lot more territory to cover out there than these guys over there, and especially like Ray Langford. He was a left-handed hitter. Oh, he just feasted on it. He hit it on the highway all the time. So I had to really work for mine, but that was about it. Anything else, I really love Ray Winder.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right, seventh inning, moving on. Let's talk about your acting career. You've had a very nice role in the, some would call it, classic movie, Men in Black. How did that come about for you?
It's so funny because my agent at that time, he called me and he said that, somebody was inquiring about me being in this role, and I didn't pay any attention to it. And he called me back maybe a week later, and he said, "Are you going to do it or not?" He said, "Steven Spielberg." I was like, "What?" And he goes, I said, "Well, how did he find out about me?" Evidently, Steven Spielberg watches ESPN, right? So they were doing like some takes, and they see how guys' eyes get really, really big, when the ball approaches. So I have really big eyes. And he was like, "I'll take him." And I didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened, and it was so fun. I really enjoyed it.
How did, was it the actual movie set? Did the stars come? Did you meet Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, anybody?
It was only me. It was just me. I loved it. But the fun part about it, they had like 25 guys who were like lookalikes, just in case I couldn't do it, whatever. I just wasn't up to par or whatever. And I walked down the left field line, and all these guys looked like me. It was scary. I said, how could you find 25 guys who look like me? So, and I told them all as I walked down there, you won't get this job right here. So it was fun. It was really fun. It was a small part, but it took a while to do it because they had to change the scenes and your props and everything, but it was awesome.
Small part, but pretty memorable in that movie. You've got two sons who I think probably have watched that a ton when they were a kid. What did they think of their dad being in that movie and then your acting skills?
You know what? My oldest son was there. He was a teeny tiny baby. And he was like, Dad, let's just go home. Because, we shot the part after the game. So it was like 11 o'clock at night. And so we stayed there till like 4:35 in the morning. I mean, just for that small part. So he was like, here we go. But he remembers it. My youngest son, he's like, is that you, Dad? Okay, all right. He just blows it off. But it was really a fun time.
Awesome stuff. All right, 8th inning, moving on here. When's the last time you were in Little Rock?
89.
Wow, it's been that long, huh?
It has. It really has. I would love to come back.
You guys raised the trophy and you haven't been back since?
I really haven't. You know what? I drove through Little Rock.
Okay.
And I always thought about, us raising the trophy. I haven't stayed there and really let it saturate a little bit. I really want to come back to Little Rock.
We'll get you back sometime. We'll work on that, all right?
Thank you, Steve.
Anytime you're not busy, we would be glad to welcome you. You did get to do something really cool in your career. As guys move around, the town you play in becomes your adopted hometown for the season, but you did actually get to play in your hometown of St. Louis for a big portion of your MLB career. How cool was that to get to play at home in St. Louis?
You know what? Actually, I always grew up as a St. Louis Cardinal. My heart, I always watched Luke Brock play, and it was just a great challenge for me. And actually, I played with Luke Brock's son, growing up. So it was a challenge. I wanted to be a Cardinal all my life. So, I had a great opportunity here, and man, to wear those birds on the bat, I love it.
Good stuff. All right, we'll wrap things up here. 9th inning. You mentioned your two boys already. They went on to play some baseball as well. But what would be your advice be now, and you're in coaching as well, for a young player, whether they be, little league, high school, guys that are getting ready to go pro? What would your advice be for a young player these days in terms of baseball? What advice would you give them?
Well, actually, through the pandemic we're going through and everything, and all the changes in life that we're going through, I would say just have the love for the game. If you don't love it, if you really don't love it, don't do it. If you love it, you have to have the passion for the game. You have to have love for the game and enjoy it. Each and every day will be different, and just keep going on and believe in yourself. I would think so.
Awesome. Bernard, great stuff. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Steven.
All right, we'll get you back to Little Rock sometime, okay? We'll be able to work on a reunion maybe for that 89 team or something one of these years.
I could golf a little bit. Steven, do you golf?
Oh, let's do some golf then. Well, that is a good excuse to come back.
Okay. Thanks, Steven.
All right. That's Bernard Gilkey.
I love you guys. All right.
That's Travs Talk for this week. We'll be back with you next week.